Hey guys, welcome back to K&S Get Out. We have had a long week full of all the different weather. It looks beautiful out here right now, it really does. A lot of sunshine, but you can't feel it. There is a really cold wind hitting Shannon and I.
We're back to that fake spring.
Yeah, so needless to say, we have been enjoying having the shed mostly closed in, but we've got a few more things to do to get it the rest of the way.
So we've been working hard this week,
Yeah.
And we've got a little bit of footage to show you from that.
So I'm trying to get these shed doors done, and Shannon's been nice enough to give me a little bit of space, but while I've been doing that, Shannon has been working on transplanting our daylilies. I think that's what they're called. And she's been killing it, but I think we need to go check on her and see how she's doing. I bought her some tools yesterday, trying to be nice, not trying to put her to work. And I think she was grateful, but I want to see how they're turning out. Guys, is Mama down in Goatville? Do you know? Hi, buddy. I missed Mario. Hi, Weege. Hi. Yeah. All right, well, apparently I missed a part of the plan, so I gotta track down my wife on my land. Sometimes you try to find the good in these animals, and I'm like, hey, if you guys can't tell me where your mom went to plant flowers, what good are you? I'm just kidding, but I did find her.
Babe.
How's it coming along?
Man, we throw rocks out here
I know it.
non-stop. Like, I can barely even get into the ground with this auger, and I'm hitting a rock.
Well, you're doing some great work.
Thanks.
Putting them right where I can mow them over.
Exactly. I might need your muscle help for digging some of these holes.
I don't have any.
That was a good answer. I don't blame you for answering that way.
So how are the tools coming along at least? You got your auger bit there?
Yeah, this auger bit you got me is helping pretty good, other than almost broke my wrist a couple times hitting rocks.
Sounds about right.
It just flips the drill right out of your hand. But as far as like the size of the holes, I feel like it's going pretty good because I'm able to put like 4 or 5 little bulbs in there. These bulbs are really small.
So in each hole you got like 4 or 5 bulbs right now?
Yeah. I'm gonna need some dirt.
I need some dirt. You gonna get me some dirt?
Yeah, I'll get you some dirt.
It looks pretty good.
Man.
So when you're planting them now, is like 4 or 5 bulbs, is that kind of the design that you put in the holes, or are you just kind of testing some stuff?
I'm just kind of testing it to see if it works. I read you can put that many bulbs in a hole, but we'll see if they end up getting too overcrowded again.
Now these I can mow eventually, right? Like I don't have to weed eat around or through these?
After they bloom. After they bloom, then you can mow over them.
Now, are they still going to bloom after transplanting?
No, they won't bloom this year.
So when can I mow these?
After I get dirt on top of them and the ground kind of settles. You don't need to mow out here anyway.
Of course I mow out here. This is where I mow. This is the only place I
just
mow.
meant like not yet.
It's the only yard I get.
That's true.
So basically when she's done with this and she spreads the dirt, I'm going to run over it with the mower.
Thanks, babe.
Just kidding. Hey, you're doing great work, and the animals are appreciative that it's not in their pen anymore.
Yeah, there's still more in there to get out.
Oh, I know. And we have some randomly sprouting up in other places, like maybe they were planted there a long time ago. They just took a minute to come up.
Well, so it could be one of those things where as I'm moving these around, some of them may fall onto the ground, and I just may not pick every one of them up. So that could be what happened to somebody else.
All
just
right.
saying.
Well, that's exciting. Hopefully these all transplant healthily and come back next season no problem, and we'll have some beautiful flowers along the road.
I hope so. I'm really excited if they do. I'm doing 2 rows of holes so that it'll kind of give them a little bit of depth.
Okay.
We'll see.
Very good.
See how far I make it.
Well, if we can just get the rest of spring to show up, we'll have all the leaves on all that goodness and Goatville and
Yeah.
all over there. We're starting to see what, the hickories, and wasn't there another species that
It's
was
hickory that's
is it
budding.
just the hickory?
Yep.
So the hickory's starting to spit some buds, but of course the oaks will take quite a while. They're the last ones to lose them and the last ones to get them. But we're starting to see some green.
Yeah, I'm excited about it.
Spring.
Yeah.
And today we're what, almost 60 degrees. It's just windy as all get out.
Yeah.
But
I'm excited for 60 degrees.
oh, me too. Yeah, it's a cool breeze, but it ain't at all like a breeze when it's 30 degrees out.
No, not even close.
Okay, well, I was telling him you were giving me my space in the shed so that I could build my doors, but then I got a little curious and wanted to make sure you were actually working.
Do you think I'm ever not working?
That's not what we thought. We just want to see what you're up to.
This is it.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go back up there and get back on the shed doors.
Okay.
You're doing awesome.
How would you feel if I grabbed that big auger that Chad brought us?
Hey, as long as I'm not having to do it, you can do whatever you want.
I mean, I just may have to do less holes that way.
Yeah, you just let me know what you need and have at it, unless it's hindering my door installation progress.
I do not want to hinder your door installation progress.
So then
I want to show you guys something really cool because Kyle was asking how many bulbs were in one of those big clumps of sections, and I was like, oh, at least 20. Oh my gosh, I bet there's probably, I don't know, at least 100 bulbs in this clump right here. Most of them I wasn't able to get up all in one. It didn't work that way. This is the only one I was able to dig it up, and there are so many, and you can tell they were definitely too deep and definitely overcrowded. This is why they are not blooming. So the cool thing is, because I've never experienced this, I've never done any gardening, flower planting, anything like that. Everybody's been telling me that the bulbs will regenerate and make more, keep reproducing, basically. The really cool thing is you can see the lifespan because the new bulbs are really small and the old bulbs, there are some that are pretty large in here. So it's just kind of cool to see the difference in the sizes, and you get an idea as to how old they are. I mean, not that I know, but you can tell just by the size that they're older and they're not the brand new ones that have been reproduced. So anyway, I just thought it was really cool. And also, thank you to Chad for bringing the auger by, because that is a huge help compared to the little drill bit auger that I was using. So I'm just gonna keep on going down the way. I'm gonna be able to put probably more bulbs in each one of the holes, and once I get down there, we'll see how many flowers I have left, but I may do a second row, we'll just see. And I know that Kyle is just going to absolutely love that my line of flowers is all wonky and not straight. Sorry.
This is as good a day as any to start the rebuilding of life. The roads that lay open are many when the old one's gone under the knife. And I can feel the sun on my skin, beginning to thaw from within. Today and not tomorrow, there's no
This for sure is why my flowers have not been blooming, which I'm okay with because, you know, I don't want to give the goats any reason to want to eat them. These roots, let's see if I can get them here. They are so root bound and I can't even get them apart. Like, that's how root bound they are together. I know that they needed to be separated. Like, look at this bulb right here. It's not even a regular size anymore or shape. They are all completely intertwined. And I am struggling to get them apart. I'm sure it would be fine if I broke some of the roots. I'm just trying to be as gentle as possible. Nature at its finest. Oh, okay. So here's, you can tell this one is a matured bulb. This is just to give you a little bit of an example of the different sizes of bulbs. So this is a bigger one. And then it kind of goes down in size. And I have these itty bitty teeny tiny little bulbs. For somebody who is new to gardening, how you can see the different sizes of bulbs and see their age a little bit. I just thought it was cool. Okay, I went ahead and dug all of my holes all the way to the property line. You see that little pink flag right there? That's our property line. So it went all the way down. And that's where I started. And so far, this is what I have done. I'm almost completely through one bucket, and I have another bucket completely full up at the camper. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish these out, and then when I run out, I'll go grab the other bucket and just keep on going. I'm really hoping I have enough dug already to make it all the way down this section of the yard. I really don't want to dig any up today. My back hurts. So we'll see how far this makes it.
So what we're doing is I'm actually double adhering the frame of the door to the back of the plywood. So as an extra measure, pretty much everything I was looking at online, people are using wood glue. I looked at True Bride, I mean, there's all these brands. I just went with Gorilla Glue because they had kind of a middle of the road price. I don't know. I went around, I spread it, and then I spread it with my fingers, wiped it off, covered all the surface area for the most part, flipped it over, and then put the clamps on that'll hold it down. I don't have as many clamps as most people who use glue frequently do, but I think I made it work, and I did go ahead and resort to some screws from the front side of the door in to close a couple gaps I couldn't get to with clamps. Now we're still going to screw in from the front through the plywood to the 2x4 frame, so it's just kind of extra measure. We really want these frames to hold onto these doors just right. So we're going to use the glue and the screws to get these two to hold together, and that will kind of help mitigate any warping either from the 2x4s or the plywood. We'll see how it goes. I've not done it in practice. These are my first doors. If you guys have ever made custom doors like this for sheds or whatever else, this is not an easy thing to do for a perfectionist when you have a specific size hole to fill with these doors. So we're going to see how these turned out. If I can at least get the seams closed enough, and then if I need to fill it in with weather stripping or something else, I can. I just want doors that swing and it locks. So we're going to find out how that goes. You think I could check the strength of my door?
I mean, I do think you could.
This is actually probably the most solid thing I've ever built.
No, not true. We're standing in a building right now.
Oh, yeah. These doors are pretty rock solid, though.
They are rock solid. You
Do you
did
like
a great job.
my shadow on your door?
Yeah, it's okay.
I'm just kidding. So I don't know if you can tell, but we are in the shed today.
And guess what? It's raining, so we're very, very thankful for this shed today.
Yeah, this is the exact time where we have been dreaming of being able to continue working regardless of the weather. Obviously temperatures are still going to be an issue, but the rain's not.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, it was me.
Oh, scared me.
Babe, you did a killer job on the painting.
Thank you.
Well, thank you. So we, last night, taped off the doors, and had our little space heater going as the rain and everything and cold blew in. But Shannon was a trooper. She kept going. We just kind of were able to move things around so we could put on one coat, go inside, make dinner, eat dinner, come back out, do another coat. She got it all done. So now, well,
other than the sides.
I was going to say, almost all done. It looks great. We got 2 coats on just about everything. So we do have a little bit of finish work with the trim that we're going to be doing to the doors and stuff, but our primary goal is doing just enough to get the doors hung so that we can come in here and stay warm as we're working on other things.
And not have to tape plastic up.
We went through a lot of tape and a lot of house wrap as we tore through those doors. And our Wren friends still live in here. So as we're coming upon dusk at night, every night both Wrens will come in, and if we hold still, they'll just go right up to their little cubby. If we move, then Shannon and I dance with the Wrens for a while until they fly back out. But I think last night they stayed in here the whole time. They
stayed in their little cubby hole.
Yeah, if you don't see their beaks, they're asleep and they're fine with you. But if you see a beak up against the wall, they're coming out, and it's a lot of fun. So we're, they're going to get kicked out, but for right now they got a nice place to sleep. And fortunately, they didn't mess with any of our stuff.
True.
I don't want to mess. This trim that we already have ready is pretty much all spoken for as far as framing out the door. So we'll take all of these pieces that Shannon got done, and we will come over here because I did factor in all my math. There's a lot of math that goes into these doors and squareness of the frames that go on them. So I'm basically making a kind of somewhat door jamb with that trim. We'll put the painted face out here and it'll match up there, and then the way that I cut the doors will be inside the trim and the hinges will be on the trim going through it into the structure. So we got to get that trim up, and then we got to get at least one piece of trim on the door so we can drive the hinges through it. Then it's time for hanging doors.
How many times did Kyle say trim?
Trim, 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 trim. If only our editor could trim out the trim. It is trim. What do we call it? I don't know what we call it.
It's trim.
But yeah, I'm excited. I think we've got the clearance that we need. I left in a little bit, and then if there's any gaps, we get to hide that with the finish work, right?
Yes.
Isn't that what we've learned?
And you're gonna take that trim and put it on the face of the door, right?
Yeah. I need to put at least one piece on so we can drive the hinges through it, because I obviously can't hang a door without hinges, and if the trim's not there, we're not matching up correctly. But then we're gonna finish out a little bit of design work just to make them kind of pretty and put a little more trim on them.
Yeah.
Trim, trim, trim.
Trim, 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 trim.
I'm very excited. Shannon did install the frame of that door backwards. Apparently, there's a prettier side to plywood, and I told her about it, and she went ahead and did it anyway.
I don't know why I can't get that right.
I'm just kidding. I sanded them both. They both received the paint very well, and I'm super stoked about it.
Me too.
All right, well, let me know when you get them hung, and then I'll be back.
I don't even think I can pick one up, babe.
They're a little heavy, I'm not gonna lie. So I'm glad we got the heavy duty hinges. All right. So that'll be in the next video, door time. Let's get up there and see your final product after you got the dirt in there and we got some rain last night.
Yeah.
Okay guys, no tears. We're gonna keep this quick. I know we've already all been through it, but if you guys follow my dad and my mom's channel over at Grandpa Adler Farms, they recently lost Smokey, and it had been a battle. You guys know all about it, but I just had to mention, obviously that's very hard on all of us, but in watching my mom and dad do that video, equally as hard seeing my mom and dad in that state, because I know how passionate they are about that, and they did everything they could. So what I wanted to say was, man, kudos out to them for their efforts and going through this and still, making videos. It's not easy to do when you're not always there emotionally, but they're doing great. And I, again, hats off to them for their efforts. But as we talk about, before we got animals, even Miss Princess, God created them not to be here as long as humans. And he had a design, he has a design, and we don't always understand it. And of course, we want them to all reach full life expectancy, but sometimes obviously it's out of our control. So be sure and show them some love, guys. I know you've put a lot of comments on some of our videos and posts about it, and we appreciate that so much. And we hope that all of you are coping and we're all just moving forward, and really let's celebrate the life that Smokey did live and the joy that she brought us in her time here on the planet. So love you, Mom and Dad. It's really hard to see you guys like that, but I'm so happy that we're all on the mend now, and we can move forward and look back and remember the great times with Smokey, and and I know there will be many more blessings to come. So thank you guys. We love all of you and appreciate your support. Be sure and show Mom and Dad the same. Well, while we're headed up to the front of the property to look at all the work Shannon did with the daffodils, which I'm very excited about, I do want to mention something. A lot of comments have come in telling us Mario needs a girlfriend. And you're exactly right. I mean, any buck, any goat you leave intact, it's always with the intent of breeding. You don't just do it for the fun of it. That being said, seasonally right now, as you guys know, even a lot of YouTubers, I'm gonna call it kidding out. Everybody's kidding out. All their goats are having their kids Marchish, and I don't know if I'm comfortable with getting him a girlfriend, and let's say, you know, she gets pregnant within the first month. That could be middle, latter part of April. She would be pregnant and then birthing through the hottest, driest time of year. And I feel like we'd maybe be setting ourselves up for some challenges that...
And then we'd be going into winter.
And then we'd be going into winter
with
the goat kids.
Yep.
Yeah, so we like the timeline that looks like a lot of goat farmers or people with goats go through, where they're kidding out right now. This would be the ideal time for us to be raising goat kids rather than, you know, August when it's 102 degrees.
We have followers.
So bear with us, guys. I have done my research. I'm reading up on it, and I know he, for lack of a better term, can get sexually frustrated and will do things, you know, that we've all talked about with his beard and raspberries. I don't want to talk about that one, but we're going to keep an eye on him. I think timing would be better if we waited, but maybe we add a weather or two so they got another play buddy.
So that Luigi doesn't get picked on so much?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I can promise you this, guys. I talk to Mario every day, and we've talked about it. He's not met any does yet in his life besides his mama. So he doesn't really know what he's missing out on, but he's been great, and we're keeping a close eye on him. So bear with us. We're still learning, and more goats are in the future. And it looks like we're at Shannons Flowers.
We are.
Look at that line. Now, babe, I got a question for you. Is this a Chad line or is this a Kyle line? Did you put stakes in the ground and string it up to make sure it was straight?
Honey, this is a Shannon line.
Oh, she gets her own line. This is how
I do it.
It looks fantastic.
I mean, you can't have a perfectly straight line of flowers. The road's not even straight.
Okay. Hey, you know what? You dug the holes, you planted the bulbs, you got them out of the ground. Guess what? Your line can be whatever direction it wants.
Thank you.
It looks amazing. I'm super excited for next year to
I am
see
really
it bloom.
excited to see if these come back up next year. I'm sure they will.
Hey,
Yeah.
I got another question for you.
What?
How's your back feeling and
Oh
your
my
knees
gosh.
and your arms?
My left knee has a big bruise on it.
I'm not laughing at your pain. It's just how many nights do we go over the ailments that I bring back to the camper? And for once, the roles were reversed.
Yeah, I had to put a heating pad on my back because it was so sore.
Yeah.
But it's fine. It worked out. It's all for the better. And here's the thing. I still have more flowers to dig up. So there may be another line of flowers going on that side of the driveway as well. I don't think I will rush into it though.
And I don't mean that Shannon doesn't work hard, so she's not sore and things from that. It's just I usually do the things that might hurt, and I don't really think about it. And if she needs help, I just run in and do it, and then I feel it the next day, and that's the game we play. This time though, I got to work on the shed the whole time while she was up here, and she just killed it. So good job, babe.
Thank you.
You're tough.
I'm really excited to have it all the way done. I have maybe 5 or 6 holes at the very end that I ran out of flowers for, so I'll fill those up whenever I can, but
Very good.
I think it's gonna look very pretty. I'm excited.
Me too.
So we have one side of our property from the driveway over completely done, with the exception of a couple of spots left. My goal is to bring it from the mailbox all the way down to the tree line down there. Now our property line goes a little bit further than the tree line, but I don't want to go in front of this tree line because the ground is very rocky and it won't be very easy.
I kill a lot of mower blades right there.
So I'm just gonna stop at the tree line, but that's the goal, is to have the whole front of the property line with daffodils.
Yeah, good job, babe.
Thank you.
You're adding to it.
I'm trying. It's gonna take a while.
That's gorgeous.
It's really
I can
pretty.
already imagine it with all the beautiful blossoms on it.
Yeah, me too. I have always wanted flowers across the front of my property line like that, so I'm super excited.
Very beautiful, babe. Good job.
Thank you. Hey, good work on all your shed door stuff.
Hey, thanks.
Yeah.
It's kind of sad because a lot goes into it, but they're only, you know,
It's not that exciting.
They're
to
only
show.
3-ish by 7-ish feet, and it's just like, well, it's nothing huge. But it is very exciting, and I'm super ready to have the thing closed in officially.
Oh, me too.
Yeah. Well, good work on your flowers up here.
Thank
It's gonna
you.
look great.
Thank you.
We are more than ready for spring to get here and stay here, probably like all the rest of you as well.
Yep.
But in the interim, we're just gonna keep powering forward and
One day at a time. Let's
one
not forget.
day at a, I do forget
One
that.
day at a time.
I get very impatient. Very
I need a
impatient.
hat that says one day at a time.
Ooh, that's a great idea. Yeah, when I get so many projects going and everything, I lump them all together. I stress myself out and I forget that. But Shannon reminded me last night, hey, one day at a time, we can only do what we can do. So I'm loving it. We're making good progress and we're just about done with that shed.
We're so close.
Yeah. Well, guys, we love and appreciate each and every one of you, and we can't thank you enough for coming along on this journey with us. As always, guys, we'll see you in the next one.
Bye.